Alright everybody, Chris here, welcome back for another video. Today I wanted to talk about all of the crazy stuff going on in the Modern Warfare community. There's just been so much, I don't know what to call it, drama. There's been all these kind of conspiracy theories. There's been a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I wanted to talk about it, share some of my opinions today. And I want to hear from you guys in the comment section, hear what you guys are thinking. And I don't know if I died. No, thank God I didn't die. I did die, but I didn't die because of that time limit there. But there's been a lot of theories regarding, what's kind of going on in the background with this game. People are thinking since the supply drops are gone, that Infinity Ward and Activision are up to some kind of schemy, sneaky kind of business practices going on in the background. And there's been all sorts of theories going around from people. And on top of that, we got a bunch of YouTubers talking about different kind of pieces of evidence, and especially a YouTuber in the name of Blame Truth. I almost butchered his name there. He has made videos. Supposedly there's been somebody from Infinity Ward kind of sending him evidence that supports that there's some kind of code that's been written, and this code affects players. So if you're a good player and you're doing better, then the code will increase your chance of your bullets not registering, thus leading to you losing more gunfights and kind of bringing you closer to a 1 KD, even if you are better than everybody else. Kind of different kind of manipulation and things like that going on in the community. And apparently, he can't show this evidence because the person could go to prison over it. And what do you guys think about this type of stuff? Now, with the way that code is, I don't know much about code. I'm no game developer, but if somebody were to tell me that it's possible to manipulate bullet, registration and hit detection, to manipulate that in order to balance kind of gameplay. And when I say balance, I mean that in quotation marks. I don't mean actually balance, because that is not fair balance at all. But if somebody told me that that's possible, in 2019, I would not deny it. I fully believe it's possible. Now, are they doing it? I would probably have to see this evidence for myself, but being Activision and some of the stuff that they are willing to do in order to make money, and we will get to more of that in a bit, but just being Activision and their scheming practices and things that they will do to make money, it would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me that they would mess with the hit detection in order to make it more friendly for newer players. But then again, my opinion on that is, if you are a new player and you're suffering and you're doing bad, guess what? We've probably all have been there. We've all been there where we've gotten pub stomped, where we've gotten destroyed. I have. It sucks, but how do you get better? You play the game. You play it and you get better and you learn from it. And I think it's ridiculous that, if it is a thing, now who knows? Maybe it isn't a thing. Maybe this is just all in our heads. Now, there's also been talk about the matches being linked to the stuff that you buy. So somebody bought, a contraband stream or whatever it's called. There's so many different names for these things. I don't really follow it. YouTubers bought that, and many YouTubers reported that as soon as they had purchased in-game kind of content, that they got easier matches. And people have been talking about that as well. Now, is that legitimate? Is that not legitimate? We don't know. And like I said before, there have been YouTubers like Blame Truth who are getting evidence of this. But if being me, who I don't get sent anything, obviously, and the majority of the community doesn't get sent anything, I mean, we all think that there's something going on. Many people don't think they know, but it's kind of hard to say. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Now, I wanted to also offer what I think should happen, and obviously, I don't think anything's really going to change. But I think that they should start off with taking off the $20 watch that they put on the store. Now, that's ridiculous. The fact that we used to be able to see our kills and deaths in game, but they're finding a way to milk money even on that. I think that that's just ridiculous. An in-game feature that should be accessible to everybody, and that was like a huge, it was like a quad there. Goddamn. But, something that should be accessible to everyone in the game and has been accessible to anybody who plays Call of Duty for the past over 10 years. And the fact that they're just taking something that is normal and something that everybody should have access to and locking that behind a paywall, it's pretty ridiculous. And guys, I just want to say this: do not pay for the watch. Do not pay for it. It's not worth it. It's $20 for a watch. Somebody made a joke in the comment section. The next thing, next thing you know, Infinity Ward will be charging people in store for socks that will keep track of the amount of distance that you've ran. And it's a funny joke because, that's the point that we got into with this game. Now, in terms of the actual state of this game, I don't know how many people are playing it. I don't know what's going on with the player counts. But I will say this, if Infinity Ward and Activision continue to pull off this shady deals and if they continue to not be clear about things and continue to act the way that they're acting, people are going to stop playing this game. People are going to play Black Ops 4 right now. And on top of that, Black Ops 4 may be getting Zombies Chronicles 2. Will it be as popular as the first Zombies Chronicles? I don't think so. You know what? I know so. It's just not going to. But Treyarch is looking better right now. Treyarch has also been fixing a lot of the issues that they created at launch. And I think it's ridiculous. Now, moving on to more issues with Modern Warfare, the other issue is that I think a lot of Infinity Ward has been handling things really badly. They've been blocking a lot of people on Twitter, taking people out of the conversation completely. And you know what? I will admit, some of the tweets that have been going around, they're bad. And you know what? I think it's a two-way street, with respect. People should be showing Infinity Ward some more respect. But at the same time, it's like Infinity Ward, when you're treating the community this way and you're charging a watch for $20 for something that was in game for over 10 years, and you're blocking, and you're just treating people that way, and of course people are going to get angry and they're going to treat you worse and worse and worse. So it's kind of like, what do you expect? But at the same time, I think that some people, some fans, some YouTubers have taken things too far. But in a way, I can't blame them for taking things too far, because Infinity Ward has kind of set it, and Activision, I should say, have set it up that way. So moving forward, I want to talk about what kind of changes, more changes should be made. So I already mentioned the watch. I think the maps in this game, people have problems with. I actually don't have a huge problem with this. I like how we have different feeling maps. Sure, they can get campy. Sure, the claymores are all over the place. I do think that there should be a sit-rep perk that allows you to see all the claymores bright red through walls, just like the old days. I don't think that's not how it is right now, but I think that needs to be changed. Some other changes that need to be made. The M4A1 should be nerfed. I think they did nerf it, but it's still crazy. It's still like the obvious go-to gun, and having an obvious go-to gun, I actually don't think is an awful thing. I mean, MW3, I used basically the ACR exclusively after I played around with a bunch of other guns, and Black Ops 2, I used the N94, the MSMC, and that's kind of what I used. There are going to be popular guns. The problem is that with such big maps in this game, with many head glitching spots, there's many guns that just aren't viable. The AK-47, it's fun to use, and you can get away with using it, but on many maps, especially in Ground War, the kick is so hard that if somebody's got an M4A1, you're not even going to be able to compete. Same with the Odin. The Odin's got so much kick that you're not going to be able to compete. And lots of these other guns are actually really cool and really fun to use, and despite all the complaints, I think the guns sound awesome. They look awesome. They feel really unique. Some of the best guns in any Call of Duty, not because the guns are good, but just because the guns, they just feel awesome when you use them. But due to these larger maps, a lot of the guns just become like useless, like you can't use them. And also, with the AK-47, the aim down sight time is slower and clunkier than the M4A1. and the Odin is slower and clunkier, so you're going to lose at long range with the M4A1, but you're also going to lose in short ranges with a bunch of other guns as well. So a bunch of guns just aren't even really competitive this time around, and for the average player to use a lot of these guns, they're just not going to stand a chance. And I think that's why a lot of people are resorting to the M4A1, because, you know, this is a very different Call of Duty, bigger maps, they're not 3-lane, and when people don't feel comfortable, when the game feels so different from any other COD we've had, which in my opinion is actually a really good thing, but the bad part about that is you take people out of their comfort zone, they're going to use the most OP guns possible, thus the overuse of the M4A1, the overuse of the I think it's called the 725, and then that snake shot pistol variant or whatever. I mean, that gun's crazy too. That gun is absolutely insane. Go watch Noah J456 drop the nuke, and he used that gun, and that thing is just filthy. It just deletes people from existence. So, you know, there's obviously an obvious gun balancing problem, but people are complaining about the maps, and I actually don't have a huge problem with the maps. Now, I don't remember, if I'm honest with you guys, I don't really remember lots of the maps names. I know Piccadilly is one. People have had a huge problem with that one. I've yet to play that map. We've got the kind of like the it's called Shoot House, I think. I like that map. Fast pace. It is kind of clustered. It's kind of a messy map, but it's different. And this map I'm playing right here, can't remember the name of this one, but I do enjoy this map. I like how it's got the different floors, and on Headquarters, this map plays incredibly. Now, Free For All, that is a different story. Free For All, this map is extremely, extremely campy. But a lot of these maps, they are, you know, they're pretty good in my opinion. I know a lot of people will say that they're bad, but what's making a lot of these maps bad to some people is, again, the overuse of claymores, the overuse of, you know, just like the over exaggeration of camping. Just, there's so many campers in this game, and I've got a 725 gameplay on Azir Cave that I will probably upload in a couple more days, but this has been a kind of a ranty video. This has not been organized, but I actually do enjoy the maps because they are original. If I'm honest with you guys, ever since Black Ops 2, what Call of Duty has been is a 3-lane rushing game, in your face, just rushing. And what I like about this game, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but it is not 3-lane in your face, just rushing. And the problem with this community is people are complaining about these 3-lane maps. They're complaining it's the same thing every year. In the moment we get something different like this, which is not 3-lane maps, you know, people start complaining. And I get there's still things to complain about. People complain about the safe spaces where people can camp and hide, and that you have to run a whole bunch before you get in the map. And I agree. Those safe spaces, they're absolutely a problem. They're too large. They should be reduced. We need to get rid of them. I agree that claymores are overused, especially with a perk that allows you to use 2 of them. I run that. You know, I do it because it's so useful. But as a result of these things, there is a positive. We're getting different types of gameplay. And to be honest, sure, there are problems. There are many problems, but I'd rather have new gameplay with new problems than old gameplay with no problems, if that makes sense. These new problems that we have, I mean, the way that people are playing, it sucks. It sucks sometimes. I totally get it. But from my experience, Headquarters and Hardpoint have been awesome. I've really been enjoying that a lot. So maybe try playing more of that. Free-for-all problems. There are problems with this game, but I am enjoying the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you would subscribe, I really appreciate it. Like the video. I'll catch you guys in another one. Peace.